Okay, so you've been asked to find any critical numbers of f of x is equal to x to the third plus 6x squared minus 15x. Now, what you'll need to do to find the critical number of this function here is to take the first derivative and find out which values make that first derivative equal to 0. And in order to do that, we will be using the power rule, which simply states that when you take the derivative of anything, of an x raised to a certain power, what you do is you take that power, put it in front, basically, right here. Take whatever it is, set it in front, and then lower that power, that same power, by 1. And then that'll be the derivative of that particular part of the equation. So, what I did right here, I started with my equation, x to the third plus 6x squared minus 15x, and I took the first derivative of it. So that third power came down, right here, and the power was lowered by 1. Same thing here in this case. A positive 6x squared, that 2 comes down and multiplies by the 6 right here to make 12, and the x was lowered by 1 power from 2 to 1, which isn't written but is just implied and simply understood, I guess, that if there's nothing there, it's the first power. And the negative 15, which is the first power as it is, you bring that first power down, and it simply becomes 15 with that x being lowered to the 0 power and no longer existing in the first derivative. So your first derivative, f prime of x, is equal to 3x squared plus 12x minus 15. I factored out a 3 to make this a little bit more easy to do, so that when I set this whole equation equal to 0, I can find my critical numbers, the numbers that make the first derivative equal to 0. So I ended up with x squared plus 4x minus 5, and I just factored that to find that x plus 5 and x minus 1 times each other equal to 0 will yield you with the critical numbers x is equal to negative 5 and x is equal to 1. And those are your critical numbers of that equation.